Hi guys, welcome back to the Bingo podcast, and it was only right to bring another Bingo. Introduce yourself, man.
Lil Bings, the last one, the best one, the most handsome one, Ronald. It's good to be on here, my bro. It's good to see you back onto the podcasting. So I'm gonna have to come through and say what I go to the people. So let's right. Come on.
Yeah, man. Obviously, little brother. Yeah, obviously, you're 16 now.
Indeed.
Jesus Christ.
Indeed.
All right. So we'll try to keep it family friendly. But nonetheless, yeah, man. Let's get started.
Come on.
All right. We're gonna start with: is there being age differences in modern relationships?
All right. Well, from experience, it depends if the man is older. I feel like it's probably more weird if the man is older than the girl. In regards to, I'm talking about when you see celebrities in regards to a 40-year-old, they're having a 19-year-old. I think that's crazy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, for example, the Diddy and Casa situation. Like, him being in his early 50s and then dating someone who was 18, 19.
Yeah.
Because you can only groom them to be the version of whatever you want them to be, right? Because there's a hierarchy situation there. Mostly if you're wealthy, she's obviously chasing the money and you're trying to, well, a bit of candy or a trophy wife, as they call them. So that can be super problematic. In regards to, from my own personal experiences, and from my point of view, the person in question was older. And yeah, the power struggle thing is an issue because obviously they think they're older, so therefore they know more.
Yeah.
So the respect part might get a bit blurred depending on whatever the dynamic in the relationship is.
But are you getting in a relationship to be respected or what?
But because of our culture and all of us being Zimbabwean, that's a big factor. If you're a person, your man doesn't feel respected.
But shouldn't respect really be there?
But that's my point. So that if the man is older, that kind of comes by default because of our culture. Do you understand? Because you understand, like, listen, the man is the head of the house, whatever, because that's how our culture is. But because the said person was not from our culture, so therefore that was a big struggle, having to understand each other to the point where it's like, okay, we can have a disagreement, but can still be respectful. But because they were older, they just thought they had an upper hand. It's like my shots is what what it is.
Yeah.
So I'll never do that again. You know what I mean? I learned my lesson. For me personally, it doesn't work because I'm also a very stubborn person where it's like right is right, wrong is wrong, and I'll never try to compromise that. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, no, that's a whole headache as well. In regards to how I am and how I function in a relationship.
Ages. Okay. Obviously, from my point of view, as being a lot younger, I've seen certain relationships go ahead with people around my age,
Yeah,
and people a lot more older.
How much older? Like man with cars.
We're talking man with cars, bro. Like niggas that own their own like houses and that, bro. And
yeah, that's disgusting.
That's disgusting.
It's not disgusting. No, we can't.
No. When you bear in mind, like the age of consent in England is 16. So if a man with the whole house and the car,
yeah,
that means you're way over 18.
Those are the blessers and the sugar daddies.
But that's my whole point.
But that's not right,
she's
though.
not even mature enough to be making a decision to if she should have intimacy during horizontal jogging yet.
Nah, but I think at 16 you know what you should and shouldn't do.
But no, so no, you can't say that. That's problematic because that's a whole case.
But listen, it's okay to know what you want at 16. I know what I want with 16, right? And I feel like we've grown up, people in my generation have grown up so much quicker than people in your generation.
iPhones, bro.
So I understand that. But there's other people which are our age, which are moving at the same pace. We don't have to go out and find someone who is 23 to feel like we, you know what I'm saying, that's okay. Now I'm on the same level. Now I'm chilling with the big bosses. You don't need to do that. But as I said again, me and a lot of my friends, we've seen it happen, and we've seen a lot of people our age get caught up in them situations. And we look at it and we're like, listen, all you're doing is just ruining yourself. You're not moving at your own pace. Everyone needs to move at their own pace. Hence why I look at them situations, I'm like, they're very sticky. They're very sticky, and I've seen it go left many times. It don't usually go right. You don't see them situations go right. It never goes right.
Because when you're younger, you're impressionable. Do you know what I mean? So it's very easy for someone who's older than you, because you just automatically think they know better.
Yes.
And they know they're wise, and everything's asking you to do, you want to keep them happy. Mostly, for example, you're 16 and he's dropping you to school. You're 16 and he's giving you that tenner for lunch money. Like, he's 16 and he's buying you cigarettes. You're 16 and he's buying you alcohol. And at that age of being 16, that's all cool.
Yeah.
But as you get older, you realize my man was actually taking advantage.
Yeah.
My man was actually grooming. Let's call it what it is. That's grooming. You're grooming a child. So as far as I'm concerned, until you're actually 18, you finish college, which is why the law states that in England, that and until you're 18, then you have the choice of, do you still want to go to school or in further education? But from you being 6 years old to 18, school is compulsory. You have to go to school because your brain is still developing and you don't even know what you like yet.
Yeah.
So if a grown man is going, yo, I mean, it's like, let me give you a lift. Next thing, you're calling him your boyfriend. That's your man. There's no way.
Yeah,
you're being groomed, man. You're being groomed.
That's a sick situation.
Yeah.
But me personally, I've never had an experience like that. Hence why, as I said again, like, I feel like a lot of people my age, a lot of people which I surround myself around, we kind of just like to be on our own level length, because it's scary. It's honestly scary to see it happen, because then I've been friends with people which, like, some girls which have actually been in that situation, and they find themselves at a certain point feeling like, oh, now I need to do this to feel like, for him to still love me. I've seen that happen, and it's sad. It's sad more than anything, because it's like, now she's gone too far where she thinks that, oh, she might have to do this for my man for him to feel like, oh, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? He still loves me. He still wants me.
Bro, you're inferior.
Yeah,
it's not a fair relationship. Because even for you, in your own experiences of dating, what's the just say age difference?
12 years.
12 years.
Yeah.
See, that doesn't make sense.
No, but it was fine.
How was it fine? How old were you at the time?
I was 22.
22. So that means my man was
34.
That's outrageous. That's outrageous.
There was nothing, honestly. Yeah, later on, of course, there are things that will be off and not my age, but I learned a lot from that person.
But this is when you then find out he's got a whole family and kids, and yet you expected that 12 years difference. It will make sense.
But I think situations like that were right. I don't think they're as bad.
No, that's fine. But then you need to understand, you are a bit of you're Kosolo.
Yeah,
you are Kosolo, and you know what his main
exactly. That's the truth.
Because this is what I say about, he's got 12 years of brain maturity over you. Yeah. So, for example, for him to know how to hide certain behaviors from you because you don't know what that looks like.
Yeah.
He's easy.
I don't know how a married man acts and all that.
Exactly. He's been through that part of his life. Do you understand? First. So, to me, it's
at that moment, you don't see it.
That's the whole point. What I'm saying, it's problematic because you're being groomed. Even from my point of view, when I was in my situation, because that person had a lot more life experience of me in their mid-30s, they knew a certain way to deal with things because they've experienced life completely different. The stuff that I'm able to experience with them, they've been way past that. Yeah. So they kind of know how to maneuver certain things. And I'm just everything is kind of new, going with the flow, but they're already 5 steps ahead because they know this whole dance. So they've done it enough time. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? So to me, yes, you can't. If you're the youngest person in that situation, you need to also understand that you are already at an automatic disadvantage. Do you understand? Yeah.
But with us girls, we can't date someone our age. Because women are more mature than men. So when he's 20, I'm 23, when he's 28, I'm already in I don't know what the word they use, but my maturity, my age, I'm 23, but mature-wise, I'm 28.
But that's a lie. Yeah. No.
It's not a lie. It's true. No. There's some things that I've learned at a young age, and a man is still learning.
Name me 3. No, come on, please. Name me 3. what have you learned that you think you've got upper hand on? Because guess what? Me, because being the oldest boy out of the household of 3 boys, yeah.
Yeah, it's different. You know how to do things because it's been boys only. Difference is when there's girls in the house. It's always, for my experience, I only have one brother.
Yeah.
And most of the things, girls will do it. The girls will do it. He has to deal with the car problems and all that. When it comes to the things outside the house, he knows what to do. Inside the house, it's always girls. So how is he going to learn how to do the cooking and all that when the girls are doing that all the time?
No, and that's fair. But again, in our household, who's the best cook? Mom or dad? Dad. Thank you. Right? So it's also how you've grown up. And I believe as well that I think mom is older than dad. But because the dynamic of how their relationship is works for them, right? So my point is also is the principles that you're growing up with and also how you're growing, what's around you. So for us, we've always seen dad in the kitchen chefing up. Yeah. And it's like, nah, there's no way I want to be doing that. So it's also what your parents are showing you. Because most of these girls as well that you're talking about, they've got bare daddy issues because their dad was never around. So the first man.
Why are you attacking us? Why are you attacking us?
That's just how it is. But we're pointing right now. We're pointing. If you feel attacked, if the shoe fits, yeah, just let it wear it, man. Wear it.
No, sometimes we have no choice.
What does that even mean?
We have
a choice. Yeah, everyone has a choice. But he was right. That's one thing that I missed out. Literally, majority of the girls which do end up in them situations do have mommy or daddy issues.
Yeah, because we want to get the thing filled in.
I hear that, and I feel like now, especially now, it's been normalized to the point where we think if you do have daddy issues or mommy issues, it's an excuse for you to go and now date a 50-year-old or 30-year-old or whatever. It's not an excuse. There's other ways for you to feel some type of love. If you genuinely thought, okay, cool, let me go find someone who's genuinely going to look out for me and actually be on the same level with me and just make me feel loved and okay, instead of me having to do certain things. Or you have the option to go find someone who is your age or around your age, who is willing to actually love you and sit there with you and help you through any issues that you had when you were younger, or any traumas you had when you were younger, and build with you. There's a lot of situations where that happens. I bet you there's multiple couples where you've probably been in situations where one of your partner has, had a really tough childhood, or even you've been the one with a tough childhood. But if there's a right amount of communication there, you both can progress with that without taking it the wrong way or doing the wrong shit and finding yourself in mad positions. So I think, in conclusion, from my point of view, I think the age gap, there has to be a strict line there.
But it's okay here in England because you guys that are working at a young age, in Zimbabwe or Africa, you start working after uni, and even after uni, you might not even get a job. So how are you going to be able to take care of your girlfriend? No, we're not dating for money, but I'm not going to get into poverty when I'm coming from poverty.
So the answer is yes.
No! I'm dating for love, but money is always involved.
Every person you've dated
okay, are you dating don't you date for looks as well?
I'm transparent. Absolutely. I would tell you, well, my last situation.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, okay. My point being, not all the time am I dating because of how you look. It's not about that. It's about how you are as a person and how you make me feel.
But there's always that thing you look for in a person. I'm not going to look for money. But there's things where you can see this person is struggling to take care of themselves. Why am I going to join them and they're not able to take care of me and my kids?
If you can't, you have to be financially be in a certain place for you to be able to be in a relationship. I feel like there's a bracket. If you're too broke to even buy food for yourself, how can you then
take care of someone else? Right? Yeah.
So that I understand. My point is, girls, what they need to understand is you can't, like you're saying, because I'm coming from poverty, why do you want me to do that? That's problematic because you do that and you find a sugar daddy who's got bare peas, he's going to abuse the shit out of you because he understands why you're there. So therefore...
No, why am I telling him that?
You just know. Why are you going to find out? Why are you disabled?
I'm bringing me. I can afford. There are girls. So then there are girls in Zimbabwe. Honestly, they've got everything, but they still go for sugar daddies.
That's fine. Then that's choosing a lifestyle. Yeah. They like what comes with that. But my point is, it's dangerous, mostly for girls, to think that, oh yeah, because I come from poverty and I look nice, yeah, let me utilize that. Because you just become a thing that's been used until there is the next one, the younger version of you that can take that place. Do you understand? So it's messed up. My point is, if you value yourself and you whatever all these things, you're not gonna be in those situations. And also, trust me, I just think it's better to be with somebody when you're younger, someone of the same age range, and you can both be immature together. That's healthy enough. Because as you get older, like fine, 22. After 22, depending on your mindset, fine, you're with someone who was 12 years older than you. Fair play, right?
But we're both immature.
No, okay, that's fine, right? My point,
Try 34.
my point is, at least by 22, you make
It's a red flag.
if you make a messy decision, people can go, that she should know better. You're actually this age. But the whole point is about, you need to be at an age where you understand the consequences of your actions. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because don't put yourself in mad situations and then be surprised that it's gone left. Do you understand? So the age different thing, boys, even girls, I just think from the age of 16 until you're about 21, your same age relationship makes sense to me. Do you understand? Because it's a lot of new stuff. It's better for you someone like people say, oh yeah, my first time with someone I love. It's puppy love. You don't love them, but because we link the L word with that experience, you want to sound like it was special. But I guarantee you, the first thing you lost it to, where are they now? You're just too young. But my point is, for us, we were older. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. Right?
I can name you the road she's on, nigga.
But what about dating? Me, a 23-year-old dating someone who's 16.
You are 22.
23.
Yeah, that one's crazy.
That's disgusting.
How is it disgusting? Isn't it the same?
16, okay.
How is it the same?
Let's put it in my perspective. I've just left school. Finished my last GCSE.
Yeah.
I can't even go find the actual proper job without what do you call it? Without my GCSEs on lock. Do you know what I mean? You at 21, did you say? Yeah. You should probably have your first car. Well, you should have your first car by then. You should be looking at your first house by then.
Yeah.
I'm still living off my mum and dad's money. Your life is way more faster than mine. I'm still figuring stuff out, as you said. There's certain ages which I'm at for certain stuff. Around 23, well, 29. You should be thinking about actually making sure you got your life settled to have your own children. You should be looking for your own partner to have your own children with. I'm still a child.
Yeah.
So if I'm looking for someone who is literally who should be looking forward to being a parent, that's not right. That's not right. That's mental. And the way that some people think that's okay, yeah. What do you think about that?
No, I think that, yeah, to me, that doesn't make sense. Honestly, it's grooming. That's what it is. Because even the Cassie and Diddy thing, I keep referring to that. Why it's so messed up and why it's a big situation is because it's him grooming her to do the what do they call it? The freak offs, right? Because that's what he's into. He's broke her down, i.e., he even signed her to a contract for like 10 years or something like that, where she was in debt to him for like 10 albums in 10 years, right? Something that she cannot achieve. So then you're at the mercy of this person, and you're trying to please them in whatever way that is, for you to get the thing that this lifestyle that you're chasing. So to me, it becomes so messy, man. There's a whole power dynamic struggle that's there. It doesn't make sense. Just, if you can, it has to be age difference that makes sense. And the lifestyle, and even the lifestyle that you want, it has to kind of balance in the same way. Because that's when someone, he used me, he took advantage of me. Because you now know better, and when you reflect on it, it doesn't feel as good now as it did when you were in there. You mean? Because now you're realizing, my mom was actually violating you.
Yeah, you want to sign in return.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So, nah, man, it's peak.
Okay, moving on. Is it possible to forgive and forget everything?
Absolutely not.
I agree.
Forgive, because I'm a Christian, I'll forgive, but I can't forget.
Yeah.
Okay, I can never forget. Because, cool, let's say, I don't know, you bent my food. But that's little things. But the same things that are so life altering and can leave you with a real life trauma that, brother, if you forget that stuff, you end up in the same place all over again. Do you understand? So, trying to adhere to the Bible and, being raised in a Christian house, yes, you have to forgive. You gotta turn the other cheek, bro, and to whatever. But if you're smart enough, you make sure you're never in that place again, ever again. Because if you do, fool me once, so fool me twice, then at some point you gotta look in the mirror.
I take our mum as a good example of that. Our mum is very forgiving, but she's not a fool. And that's nothing I can say. She will never forget, and that's why she teaches us the little things which matter. The little things of not putting yourself in the same position that you were in 2 years ago or last week, making sure that you're doing the right thing. But also remembering that it's everyone's first time living. Everyone's gonna make mistakes. Everyone's gonna fuck up. Our parents are fucked up. You fucked up. I fucked up. Everyone's fucked up. But it's just about knowing that, you know what I'm saying, that you could, it's like you could win the lottery today and you could be broke by next week.
No.
It's just about knowing that there's always a consequence with forgiving people and being a little bit too nice to people. And I think I look at some people which I know as well, which are very much forgiving to others, and I get slightly annoyed because I'm like, listen, you are a very nice person, and this person is continuing to mess up about with you, and you're just forgiving. All you're doing is just opening the gate of just take me for a dickhead. And I think them people there, I feel very sorry for, because if they understood that that forgetting about situations and letting them fly past you, it actually is detrimental to yourself. All you're exposing to yourself is that you're just somebody who is available to just be taken for an idiot and just passed on about.
No, 100%. I agree with that. But also certain things, man, are lessons. I mean, it's life has got a way of humbling you, because also there's certain things that you do and you think, nah, man, what's the consequences and that? Like, nah, how bad could it be? And then the universe goes, let me show you. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. You know what I'm saying? So it sometimes, like what Taff said in the last pod, you tell a child, don't touch the stove, it burns. It's many times you might tell them, because you don't want to get hurt, and they'll touch, and then guess what? Ouchie, that hurts, right? And you're like, I told you. That's how sometimes life is, because we're humans. Sometimes we learn from other people's experiences, and sometimes we learn from our own. Even though we've had the same story a million times, bro. So, but again, on top of that, there's some people out there who are just wicked. Who are just out for vengeance, who are just out to cause pain, who are just out to show how better than everyone that they are. Do you know what I mean? So those people, you gotta keep them at an arm's length, because they are just out there to take a chunk out of you and dash.
You can never move on if you don't forgive. I think that's another thing. You can never move on.
You're living rent free in your head.
Yeah. So it's one of them things where also you're not also just forgiving for someone else. You're forgiving for yourself.
Yeah.
Because if I know you've done something to me, and I've forgiven you about it, but if I don't forgive you about it, it's just gonna be on my mind 24 hours, and I won't ever be able to feel okay. And imagine something happened to you, God forbid, and I didn't get to forgive you or something that you had done to me. It's just it won't. A lot of people might not think about that until the situation actually comes towards you. But when you're left in that situation, it's not a nice space to be in. A lot of people have been left in that situation and they don't know what to do with themselves and can't find that closure.
Yeah.
And people start to try to theme for that closure. I can't find it at the end of the day. So yeah, forgiving is also a thing for yourself.
So are you saying if someone takes your girlfriend,
you're
gonna forgive them?
That's little, but they come and they go, man. They come and they go.
No, this is someone you want to marry. All plans sorted.
She was never mine.
I think a girlfriend is a light word. Wife.
Wife.
Yeah.
She was never mine then. Because how can somebody just come and take you?
Well, you need more context to that, my bro. Like,
No.
Like,
if you were my wife.
Because I've been in a situation where my best friend took my boyfriend. It took me 2 years to forgive
That was
them.
never your best friend. That was never your man.
But at that moment, you don't realize it.
That's
You're
cool.
just...
But that's what I say about immaturity, yeah? Because I'm pretty sure there'll be signs.
Nah, there weren't signs.
Then you were just not seeing.
We know. The thing is, that's the thing with us ladies. We always know, but we ignore this and that. That's the problem.
There were signs.
So
So what I'm saying. Yeah.
No, but still, I feel like that's stuff like that. I feel like it's just you would obviously hurt before you. Did you forgive that person?
2 years later, yeah.
2 years later, you know what I mean?
It takes time.
Some things like that, you have to just let it hurt.
I'll drop a bit of wisdom on you, right? So today when I was at work, on my lunch, if this video came up, this lady was like, "You know what? How do you deal with like anger, right? Childhood anger towards the parent or whatever?" And the guy was like, "The crazy thing about it is you let that live inside you for, let's say something happened when you were 5, yeah, and you're not a whole woman, you're not in your 40s. You've let that deal with you every time you run that parent. It's festering, it's bubbling. But guess what? One thing you're not realizing is you let something live in you for so long. You turn into that thing.
Yeah.
You become that version of them.
Yeah.
You just become a mirror of them. Because you're still living in that 5 years when you that moment when you're 5. Yeah. Whereas they probably move past that.
They forgot.
So this is why I'm a big advocate. I know sometimes you think I'm too head on, but I think that's so much better to do that and probably hurt someone's feelings now rather than
later when it's too late.
I tell you what you want to hear now, and then a year later I'm like,
yeah. No, but I'm pretty sure there's situations where you can't forgive a person, like when you know someone's
the only time
poisoned your parents.
The only time I think I can say to you where I won't forgive anyone is now being a dad. Something happens to my son, and I feel like someone
caused it. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes, God forgive me. I could never forgive that. But I feel like there's a line, right?
Yeah.
But the little things where I don't know, some man's taking your girl. Or, please, man, come on.
So you guys have never been in love, then?
That's not even that. We're just not gonna chase something we know is obviously not there. You know what I mean?
Real love don't need chasing.
Yeah.
Say if it's yours or you're sharing. If you're sharing, you got the wrong person. You know what I'm saying?
Eating the salsa from the same bowl.
You know what I'm saying? So you don't need to be doing all of that. But I feel like honestly, the way that I now look at life is 100% forgive the actions, but never forget how you got into that moment, because you let someone get too close like that. If they stab you in the back once, they can stab you in the back twice. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying?
Okay. In that bracket of forgiving people, what's your take on people who never bring their wallets outside? It's always, I've forgotten it at home.
I've got friends who do that. Oh my God.
I know exactly.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Now, honestly, listen, this is what we're saying before about everyone is in different spaces in regards to where you are in life. Do you know what I mean? Some people peak very early in life, and some people just take them a little bit longer to get there. But I feel like transparency is amazing. Do that. What I hate is when where you come up with the idea that when they step out,
when you have the money, you can't accommodate yourself.
The said person, we're now by the door. Man, we've drove there. Yeah, we're now by the door of the entrance, and you go. Yeah. Wait. What choice are you giving me? Do you understand? And then, so that for me, I don't love that. And
so do they pay you back or it's covered? That's it.
It tallies up. Trust me, because I realized after a while, that certain people are just there to they'll take forget. They'll take the piece out of you for the longest time, and before you know it, you spent more than you're spending on your girl. You understand? So, them kind of behaviors there. Come on, man. Listen, please. Like, if they were in my position, it will feel like a violation, and sometimes it is a violation. Don't come up with an idea for a plan or a motive when you don't know where your wallet is.
Did you say always?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one there. Because I was gonna say, There's the 1-2 occasions where you might be like, okay, you saying that, or you forgot your shit, it's calm, and you might just be like, cool.
Nah, this is an everyday thing.
But if it's an always thing, there's very.
I feel like those people are the ones that leave beyond their, like, their life is, I've got the Louis Vuitton bags, Gucci bags on camera.
They want to present a lifestyle, but they're nowhere near it.
Yeah.
No, that I'm not mad at. That can't lie, because we're in a social media era. Do you understand? Like, I understand the need of trying to portray yourself in a certain way. I don't mind that. But guess what? When it comes to your people them, I'm like, that's the one time you think, because you know me. I'm not upset or mad at people going, bro, we're going Top Golf. Are you coming?
Yeah.
I'm not coming because my peace right now are not, they're not aligned.
Yeah.
I don't feel shame in that. I don't need to be at every motive. But some people.
But I feel like it's because you guys grew up in a good environment here in England. And Zim saying that,
what do you mean?
It's so embarrassing.
Same.
I don't have money, or the only excuse I used to use is my mom doesn't allow me. When I know I have no cent in my account.
The crazy thing about, sorry to do this, guys, but the third thing about black people is we manage from each other, yet in our own house we don't have nothing.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? That one for me is laughable, because I know how things get in Zim. How can you be laughing at me because you for this one time you managed to find that spare $20? Yeah. But then all the time we're both out in the streets just playing it. Nonsense.
Yeah, that $20, but no shoes on.
Do you see what I'm bro? Or you got $20 and you're going out with my outfit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Do you know what I mean?
Please let me enjoy it.
You know what I mean? So to me, that doesn't make sense. It's just man doing the most. But I think, yes, mostly, where is it? Dad showed me the thing. Like in America, they're saying you see, but yeah, that in America you see that black people go the latest Mercedes, the latest Rolex, the latest Gucci bag, the latest Jordans, but what do you call it? He hasn't got a car, he hasn't got a mortgage. Like anything that I like long-term investments.
Yeah.
It's things that as soon as you buy them, you walk out there, the value goes.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So it's also about mindset thing, because I don't see the need of trying to do like I've got it now when I don't. Because if you remember when I didn't have a car, what was it? 10 toes, bro.
Yeah.
Walking my 2 hours to work, 2 hours back up because I haven't got a car around, and I've got no shame in that. I'm telling everyone, but I ain't got a car, bro.
But that goes back to the relationship stuff. It's not that you're broke, you can't afford it, but at that time things aren't okay for yourself.
Yeah, but
so how can you carry along someone else?
No, but for me, that was a temporary setback. But my point is, if I communicate with you effectively, I'm managing your expectations. Because if I don't do that and you go, babe, meet me, or I come and never see you, and I'm not telling you what's going on, as far as you're concerned, I'm just bailing on you, then that completely changes the context of the situation. But communication is very key in that. Do you understand? But don't feel shame, man. If you haven't got it, you haven't got it. That's my
I think you guys need to have a men conference on that. If you don't have it, just be honest, because guys lie to us out there.
Yeah, but I feel like
I've got this, I've got that. I can take care of you.
But you then there's girls like you who only look at you twice if you go there.
I don't know. So
now I'm gonna say
it's not about the bag.
You can't see the bag, but it's
no.
It's there.
It's not about the bag. It's you look at me. I'm not just someone you can take to Chicken Inn or what's it called, the chicken basket or whatever. I need to go to those. Yeah.
No, I understand that, but my point is, it's also the environment that you're in, right? You just said to me right now, even in Zim, you'd feel embarrassed to say, "Oh,
I don't have money.
I don't have the money. Yeah. Like that's why I'm not coming out." But my point is, if we all did make each other as a society feel a certain way, then that would completely change. You understand?
Yeah.
But if we're trying to all pretend like we're all Jeff Bezos, do you know what I mean? You're gonna be in a sticky situation that you can't maintain.
But it's only gonna get worse from now on, because social media nowadays, you see, even my school, the school that I went to, we don't allow non-school uniform days because of other people which can't afford them type of clothes, or they might get made fun of, etc. So it's one of them things where I feel like you have to grow up and be in a position to understand you will not always be in the right financial situation. There will always be times. There will be some times where you won't be able to afford something like that or this and that. For you to understand, you know what? Now I understand why man like Terry at school couldn't wear them Jordans on them school uniform days. But you know, I feel like people just need to be real with each other, especially if you classify me as your boy. You should be straight up with me and be like, bro, I don't have the money to accommodate this motive today. Can you please allow me in it? But don't take the piss, because that's when you lose niggas, and then that's when you lose brethrens. That's all I got to say with that one still.
I think it's that's where the peer pressure word comes through. Because we even had days, we wore school uniforms, but there were days where you'd wear your clothes.
Yeah.
And you'd see this person borrowed these clothes. They're being too careful, or the clothes on theirs they're too big, or stuff like that. But on social media, you can this person is rich at their house, they've got these cars and all that. But, well, that's life. We learn.
That is life. Anything you want to say, mate?
No. I agree. I think transparency is key. But also I think these things come with age, and as you get older,
yeah,
you realize that it's just not that big deal. Like for example, you have a laugh at me all the time about me not having a haircut. Like, I don't care. I can afford it. I just can't be asked, because guess what? I'm not coming to my house for me to impress nobody. Understand? Unless it's a job interview, unless it's a date. Why am I doing the most? Like, bro, it's either I've got my things together, set up a certain way. It's either you're foreman or you're not. And if you're not foreman, keep it moving, man. Get in, because I'm so past that, and the things that I'm longing for, i.e., getting the house, getting the car, getting the bigger things in life. That's what it's about now. Not the little, man's got Rolex, or man's got the latest. Please, that's not the priority anymore. The game is bigger than that now. I know what I'm longing for now. And also the things that I want my son to see with his pops and be like,
I want to be that person.
You don't care about that Rolex, but guess what? Where he lives, where he goes to school, like those things are things that will matter to him. In the bigger picture. Yeah.
On that, what's your take on people who assume things? Like, for example, the haircut. Maybe they're thinking you're not getting a cut because you can't afford it, or.
But that's straight up though. Like, bro, especially the guys, as we were just saying, like, you can't diss me if your haircut 8 TT. Those are the people that I hate.
No, see, that shows me your age.
What did you say?
No, like, I feel like the people that assume that I don't have money, right?
Or you don't.
Yeah.
Don't assume.
I don't have money, but you're just annoying me by assuming it.
Yeah.
Then what makes me
wait.
I get what you mean. I get it. I do understand. I get it. It's annoying. Why are you assuming things? I know I'm broke, but why are you assuming it?
I'm not assuming it.
Exactly.
That's the same situation as we didn't go clubbing, and we're not. I don't assume. You asked me to go to a motive. I didn't assume you're broke. We knock at the door.
No, I came with the idea. I think it's enough.
I can't with you, man. Oh my God. Allow that.
I just hate it.
It's like saying you post something and someone thinks the post is about them. Why are they assuming that?
That's it. There we go.
It's the same thing.
No, it's not.
But it is.
No.
It is. Assuming about little things, assuming about how big the things are, just assumptions.
They all go under
the same category. They all go under the same category, bro. Because unless I've told you,
and tagged you,
I can't lie, bro. This post is about you still.
Yeah,
well, I've tagged you. I made it very explicit.
Yeah, but we're saying that. But don't girls do this though a lot? Girls will really you upset her. You argue, yeah. Instead of her coming to you now like a big grown ass woman, yeah. And you know what? If you really wanted to, you would.
That's our way of communicating. You've done something wrong. We're not going to come to you if you feel like, maybe I've explained this so many times. I've told you this is wrong. I'm not liking it. You're not listening. Keep fighting about it. So the best way is I'm going to post it.
So you go and post on your WhatsApp, but you only make it that only I can view it.
Yeah.
Instead of you just listen.
Yeah, you've seen it, right? It works.
Yeah, she did. That's what she does.
Yes, bro. If you think that's normal.
It's normal. Maybe it's ADHD. You never know. Or PTSD.
But the thing is, you're not the only girl that's ever done that to me. That happens all the time. That's not cute. That's just
it is, but you get it, don't you?
Don't. You know what I do? I just look at it and just flick and
No, but you come home and then you ask about it.
Nah.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, look at him, he cares.
I don't care, bro.
He's being a man, and
I think if we're looking at under that category, I think it's just like men. You can't be bothered to be doing the indirect thing, man. Like, just come and tell me, listen. This is what
it's the same thing with. This is a different scenario. If a girl comes to you, comment section, your DM, she's saying she likes you indirectly. You're not assuming. But she assumes you've got the hint.
What?
She said in the comment section, you're looking cute, you're handsome, every post you post, blah, blah, blah. She's assuming you understand. She's sending you a hint. Different. How is it different?
Because she's been consistent. So the first time I just go, okay, cool. Like maybe you man, might really brushed up on this one. I mean, yeah.
But assumption is assumption.
No. But I'm saying I'm not even like matching the energy. I'm just going, I really brushed up well on this one, man. I mean, it's nice to be appreciated. If you does that again, then I'm gonna give you the side eye.
Yeah.
The third time, I know what you're on, man. Now I'm jumping into your because now I know. But that's gonna be different. My point being, assuming for me is what we talk about. Don't be posting something. If I've upset you, don't post something, and then you'll come to me straight away.
Yeah.
Okay. In conclusion, as we close the podcast, when was the last time you prayed?
I pray every morning, bro.
No, a proper prayer, not thank you God for today. God, I need to talk to you.
Did I stop? Did I start? Just because that's not your level. Since now we're gonna push it. Don't try to test me. Since man's been going through certain things, I speak to him every morning because life is really testing me right now, and I feel like for me not to be my default self and be erratic, I need his guidance. I mean, for me to be the person that that he expects me to be, and the person that my parents will be proud of, all the things, because I know they pray for me all the time. So for me, it's a daily thing, so that I'll hold myself accountable, to the men that I want to be and the men that I will become. Because also it's nice to know that you're not alone. Do you know what I mean? That you're not fighting these testing times all by yourself. Do you know what I mean? So for myself, I do it every day. What about you guys?
You know what? And I pinch myself every single time with this one, because it's like one of my pet peeves with myself is that I go to him when there's a problem.
Yeah, I get that.
I don't talk to him because I want to, or because I want to just thank him for the little things. And I feel like even myself, over these last 2 weeks, I've had a lot of stuff going on myself, and I feel like it's made me be grateful for the little things, like just waking up in the morning. So the last time I prayed was probably, I want to say last week. Actually, last week, like I'll probably say.
So you're surviving on last week's prayer.
Early last week. So I'm surviving on that last prayer. You know what I mean? but like, as I said, like yeah, and I feel like watching you and how you have kind of engaged in prayer, engaged in just attending church. All of this, it's motivating.
I preached for the first time on Sunday.
Yeah, I heard Dad said it.
Yeah, man.
Dad told me. How was it?
Reverend Bingo and that. Bro, honestly, on a real, because when the sermon was going on, But you know when your soul is like,
say something.
Yeah, you know that job that you're given.
Yeah,
It's time. Yeah, you can't keep sitting on this one. And I had to speak, and my heart was beating,
Was
bro.
it?
On my
Yeah.
chest, my sweating, palms were sweating. But bro, I felt fulfilled, and even when we prayed before the church, like had a little cry because I just felt my soul just felt happy. Not even like a sad cry, but like a
yeah,
Grateful, happy.
a relief. Yeah.
This is where man's meant to be. Do you know what I mean? So, no man, I'm in a good place, and God is working His miracles behind closed doors. So we're happy.
Yeah, man. But as I was saying, like seeing obviously my older brother get closer to God and you know do all of these things, it motivates myself. But also it's just like it's another thing I've talked to myself and I made it clear to myself that I'm the only person who can change my relationship with God. 100%.
Yeah.
I'm the only person who can fix that. And also he's the only person who will love me unconditionally and he will forgive me for not talking to him 24/7, but he will always be open to me talking to him 24/7. So yeah, I think it's just one of them things where I think we should all just start praying, man. All start praying.
What
It's
about
nice,
you,
man.
director? When is the last time you prayed properly?
Today.
Today.
Yeah.
Amen, sister.
I grew up in an environment where prayer is very important. My mom would wake us up at 5 a.m. and then before we go to sleep, we pray. So it's stuck with me. I pray every day, even a little fast every Wednesday. So yeah.
Nice. No, listen, bro, I appreciate you. Obviously, one of many on the pod. But yeah, guys, like, comment, subscribe. And if you got any questions as well, chuck him in the DM. Even if you wanna come on the sofa, I keep saying that. I hate that I say that.
What?
If you wanna come and chill on the sofa, come through. But otherwise,
In a bit.
peace.